He's a smooth operator. Where will Carlos Sainz go in the F1 2025 driver market? Welcome back to Fog Racing. We put up for a poll on the greatest channel known to mankind, and 11 votes came in. We had three options: Mercedes, Aston Martin, and Audi. Now, of course, for 2025, it will not be called Audi. It will be Sauber. It will be Stake F1 Team, whatever you want to call them. But for 2026, it will be Audi. So for the sake of this video, he's not going to Sauber because it's Sauber. He'd be going to Audi because it's Audi. And the next season, after 1 year at them, they would become Audi, manufacturing their own engines. It's that simple. But of course, unless you've been living under a rock, Lewis Hamilton signed with Ferrari, which is pretty incredible news. I labelled it as the biggest news this century in F1 in terms of a driver switch. And I'm pretty much going to back that. But with that, there's the forgotten man. That's Carlos Sainz. He's booted at Ferrari. Unless Charles Leclerc was going to give up his seat. Haha, of course he wasn't. So Carlos Sainz will leave Ferrari at the end of this year. Mercedes will probably put up a poll about who they're going to sign very soon as well. But like I said, the three options, 11 votes, joint second last place. We have got Mercedes with 27% of the vote. I think this one's the least likely, and it's not because I don't rate Carlos Sainz. You just don't really see these straight swap deals ever. When was the last straight, I mean, apart from like Red Bull and Toro Rosso or AlphaTauri, whatever, switching between their teams, but that's not really, that's different, right? You can't really say that's the same thing, in my opinion. You can't. When was the last time you get these like driver switches? Honestly, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. I can't think of one. Is it impossible? No. But I think Mercedes, they're either going to go for Fernando Alonso or they're going to go for a number 2 to George Russell. Because the likes of Leclerc, Lando Norris, Verstappen, etc., they're all signed into mega deals. Alonso will weasel himself out of a deal. He will burn a bridge. Fernando Alonso is not afraid of burning bridges. He will burn a bridge in order to get this Mercedes move, I do think. I think he'll take one sit in that new Aston Martin car. Probably like what Hamilton did. Hamilton's always wanted to go for Ferrari. We can talk about, that must mean the Mercedes car this year's bad. Or maybe he just simply wants to drive for Ferrari before he calls it a day and this was his last shot. Hell, I'm not going to begrudge Hamilton that. Even though he's getting 100 million a year, give me some, son. Anyway, yeah, Mercedes, I think, is the least likely. Joint though with Mercedes, we had Aston Martin. Again, this what opens up silly season. Because Sainz is booted out of Ferrari and Hamilton's in, that leaves a spot at Mercedes. Alonso, if he goes to Mercedes, that leaves a spot at Aston Martin. And then, does that mean Carlos Sainz could go to Aston Martin? Or does it simply mean that Lance Stroll's pish? Daddy Stroll's going to finally realise that, even though he probably realised that the day his son was born, and then he's just going to actually replace Stroll, and it'll be an all-Spanish armada front line at Aston Martin. That could happen. But coming in with a whopping 45% of the vote, we have got Audi. I think it's going to be Audi. It's a shame because there's no guarantees with Audi. Hell, in F1 there's really no guarantees. I guess you could just rock up to the next season with a shite car and that's you done. But it kind of feels like Carlos Sainz's, era at the top is over. And obviously Ferrari could have a title-winning car this year. It's not out the realms of possibility, and hell, he could win a title. But it would be a shame for someone of Carlos Sainz's talent to only have 3 seasons at the top, where it was like 2022, and I say at the top, last year he won a race, but I mean, Red Bull was the only team at the toppy top, you get me? But here, it's not like he'd be the only driver to ever have an underwhelming car underneath him. I mean, look at Fernando Alonso, guys had an underperforming car for the best part of 10 years, and even then, it's not like his Ferrari were good. But Aston Martin last season, I guess, for the first half were alright. But anyway, guys, Carlos Sainz, where will he go? We'll have to wait and see.